Welcome to my channel. Value quarter dollar. The 1985 P. United States half dollar is officially known as the 1985 P. Kennedy half dollar. It was produced by the United States Mint at the Philadelphia Mint, which is represented by the small p mint mark found on the coin. The Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964 after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and by 1985 the coin had become an important symbol of American history, patriotism, and remembrance. The obverse, or front side, of the 1985 P half dollar displays a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy designed by sculptor Gilroy Roberts. Above Kennedy's head appears the word, Liberty, which is one of the oldest and most meaningful inscriptions used on American coinage. It represents freedom, democracy, and the ideals upon which the United States was founded. The phrase, "In God We Trust," appears on the front of the coin below the portrait. This national motto was officially adopted by the United States and began appearing widely on coins during the 19th century. The date, 1985, appears at the bottom front side, marking the year the coin was struck. To the right of Kennedy's neck is the P mint mark indicating production in Philadelphia. Before 1980, Philadelphia coins often had no mint mark, but beginning in 1980 the P became standard on most denominations, including the half dollar. The reverse side of the coin was designed by Frank Gasparo and features the presidential seal adapted into a heraldic eagle design. The eagle holds an olive branch in one claw and arrows in the other, symbolizing the balance between peace and military readiness. Above the eagle are stars representing the states of the Union, while rays and clouds create a dramatic patriotic appearance. Around the edge appears the inscription, United States of America, identifying the nation of origin, and below that is the denomination, half dollar. Another important Latin inscription on the reverse is, E pluribus unum, which translates to, out of many, one. This phrase reflects the unity of the American states and people into a single nation. It has appeared on American coinage since the late 1700s and remains one of the most recognized mottos in the country. The lettering style on the 1985 half dollar is sharp and formal, giving the coin an official and dignified appearance. The 1985 P. Kennedy half dollar was struck in large quantities mainly for collectors and limited circulation because half dollars were not commonly used in everyday commerce during the 1980s. Most Americans preferred quarters and dollar bills, so many half dollars stayed in bank vaults, mint sets, or private collections. The coin is made from a copper nickel-clad composition rather than silver. Earlier Kennedy half dollars from 1964 contained 90% silver, and coins from 1965 to 1970 contained 40% silver. But by 1971 the series transitioned completely to copper nickel-clad coinage to reduce production costs and preserve precious metal supplies. The 1985 P half dollar weighs approximately 11.34 grams and has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, making it one of the larger modern American circulating coins. The edge is reeded with small grooves running around the side. Collectors often examine these edges carefully to verify authenticity and identify errors. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, but despite their high mintage, well-preserved uncirculated examples remain desirable among collectors. Coins graded in exceptionally high mint state conditions by professional grading companies can be worth significantly more than face value. Some collectors also search for rare minting errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or weak strikes. Error coins from the 1985 P series may command premium prices depending on rarity and condition. The inscriptions on the 1985 P half dollar carry deep historical and symbolic importance. Liberty traces back to the ideals of the American Revolution and the creation of the United States as an independent republic. In God We Trust reflects the religious and cultural traditions that influenced American society through different periods of history, especially during times of war and national challenge. E pluribus unum symbolizes unity among diversity and remains one of the foundational expressions of American identity. Together, these inscriptions communicate patriotism, national values, and political philosophy through a small everyday object. Coin collectors often appreciate Kennedy half dollars not only for their monetary value but also for their artistic design and historical significance. The portrait of Kennedy became one of the most recognizable images on American currency, preserving the memory of a president associated with youth, optimism, the space race, and civil rights progress. During the 1980s, when the 1985 P coin was produced, the United States was experiencing the later years of the Cold War, rapid technological growth, and significant political changes under President Ronald Reagan. Although the half dollar was not heavily circulated, it still served as a national symbol connecting Americans to their history and institutions. Today, the 1985 P. Kennedy half dollar remains widely collected by beginners and experienced numismatists alike. Many people search through bank rolls hoping to find uncirculated examples, while others purchase mint sets issued by the United States Mint. Coins in average circulated condition are usually worth close to face value. But brilliant uncirculated coins or professionally graded specimens can carry collector premiums. Special attention is given to coins with strong luster, minimal scratches, and sharp details on Kennedy's hair and the eagle feathers. The 1985 P half dollar also represents a transitional era in American coin collecting when circulating commemorative interest was growing and the public increasingly saved coins as historical keepsakes rather than spending them. For many collectors, the Kennedy half dollar series combines artistry, politics, history, and patriotism in a single design. The presence of inscriptions such as "Liberty, in God We Trust," and "E Pluribus Unum" transforms the coin from a simple piece of money into a reflection of national identity and American ideals that continue to influence the culture and symbolism of the United States today. The next top. The 1983 P United States quarter dollar is part of the long-running Washington quarter series. The P mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the United States Mint in Philadelphia. On the obverse front of the coin is a left-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Above Washington's head appears the word liberty, while the national motto "In God We Trust" is positioned to the left of his neck. The date 1983 appears at the bottom, and the small P mint mark is found near Washington's hair ribbon. On the reverse back, the coin features a heraldic eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows and framed by olive branches. Around the eagle are the inscriptions "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, out of many, one, and quarter dollar." The 1983 P quarter was produced for circulation rather than as a collector-proof coin, with a mintage of approximately 673.5 million pieces. It is made of a copper core clad with copper nickel layers, weighs 5.67 grams, measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. The design belongs to the Washington quarter type used from 1932 through 1998 before the state quarters program began. Collectors often pay special attention to 1983 quarters because relatively few people saved uncirculated examples when they were released, making high-grade specimens more desirable today. Many examples show weak strikes, especially in parts of the lettering such as "In God We Trust," due to die wear and production conditions at the time. Most circulated 1983 P quarters are worth only face value or slightly more. But well-preserved mint state examples can command significantly higher prices among collectors. The mottos on the coin carry important symbolic meaning. Liberty represents freedom. In God We Trust is the official motto of the United States, and E Pluribus Unum reflects the union of many states and peoples into one nation. Together with Washington's portrait and the eagle reverse, these elements make the 1983 P quarter an important example of late 20th century American coinage and a popular coin among both beginning and advanced numismatists. The next top. The 1990 D United States quarter dollar is a circulating coin of the United States that was struck at the Denver Mint in Colorado, as indicated by the D mint mark found on the obverse front side of the coin. This quarter belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. The 1990 D quarter has a face value of 25 cents and was produced for everyday commerce rather than as a special commemorative issue. It is composed of a copper core clad between layers of copper nickel, giving it the familiar silver-colored appearance while containing no silver. The coin weighs approximately 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features a reeded edge with 119 ridges. During 1990, hundreds of millions of quarters were produced at the Denver Mint to meet the needs of circulation throughout the country. On the front of the coin appears the left-facing portrait of George Washington, based on a design by sculptor John Flanagan. Above Washington's head is the word, Liberty, one of the most important inscriptions found on United States coinage. The concept of liberty has deep roots in American history, representing freedom, self-government, and the principles upon which the nation was founded. To the left of Washington's portrait appears the national motto, "In God We Trust." This phrase has been used on many U.S. coins since the 19th century and became the official motto of the United States in 1956. The words express a traditional acknowledgement of faith and divine guidance. Beneath Washington's portrait is the date 1990, identifying the year the coin was struck. To the right of the ribbon at the base of the portrait is the D Mint mark, indicating production at the Denver Mint. The reverse, back, side of the 1990 D quarter features an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing readiness to defend the nation, while olive branches below the arrows represent peace. This design was also created by John Flanagan and remained in use on Washington quarters for decades before the introduction of state-themed quarters in 1999. Above the eagle appears the inscription, United States of America, identifying the issuing nation. Directly beneath that inscription is, E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning, out of many, one. The motto reflects the union of individual states and diverse peoples into a single nation. The phrase has appeared on U.S. coins since the late 18th century and remains one of the country's most recognizable national mottos. At the bottom of the reverse is the denomination, quarter dollar, indicating the coin's value as 1/4 of a U.S. dollar. From a historical perspective, the 1990 D quarter was minted during the administration of George H. W. Bush. The year 1990 was a period of significant international and domestic developments, including the lead up to the Gulf War and continued economic and technological changes in the United States. Although the quarter itself was an ordinary circulating coin, it served as a small but constant reminder of American history, symbolism, and national identity through its inscriptions and imagery. Collectors often examine 1990 D quarters for their condition, strike quality, luster, and any unusual minting errors. Common examples found in circulation are generally worth face value, but uncirculated specimens with strong mint luster may command a premium among collectors. Error varieties such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, or other minting anomalies can be considerably more valuable depending on rarity and condition. The Denver Mint produced a very large number of quarters in 1990, making the coin common in most grades, though exceptionally well-preserved examples are more desirable. The inscriptions on the coin carry important symbolic meanings. Liberty emphasizes the nation's foundational ideals of freedom. In God We Trust reflects a long-standing national motto associated with faith and trust. United States of America identifies the sovereign nation issuing the coin. E pluribus unum highlights unity among diverse states and citizens. Quarter dollar specifies the denomination, together with the portrait of George Washington and the eagle design. These inscriptions transform a simple circulating coin into a miniature representation of American history, government, culture, and values. For numismatists, the 1990 D Washington quarter represents a late example of the classic eagle reverse design that circulated for most of the 20th century. It stands as part of a broader tradition of U.S. coinage that combines practical monetary function with national symbolism. Even though millions of people handled such coins in everyday transactions, each one carries carefully chosen artistic and historical elements intended to communicate ideas of liberty, unity, trust, leadership, peace, and strength. The 1990 D quarter therefore remains an interesting collectible and an enduring artifact of American monetary history. The next top. The 1996 P quarter dollar is a circulating coin of the United States of America and belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series that was produced before the State Quarters program began in 1999. The letter P on the coin indicates that it was struck at the United States Mint in Philadelphia. On the obverse front of the coin is a left-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Around Washington's portrait appear the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 1996. The phrase, "In God We Trust," is the official motto of the United States and has appeared on most U.S. coins for many decades. The reverse back of the coin features a heraldic eagle with spread wings standing above a bundle of arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both military readiness and the desire for peace. Around the eagle are the inscriptions, "United States of America, e pluribus unum," and "quarter dollar." The Latin phrase, "e pluribus unum," translates as, "out of many, one," expressing the idea that many states and peoples form one nation. The coin has a face value of 25 cents, a diameter of approximately 24.3 millimeters, a weight of about 5.67 grams, a reeded edge, and a copper core covered by layers of copper-nickel alloy. More than 925 million examples of the 1996 P quarter were produced, making it a very common coin in circulation. Because of its large mintage, most circulated examples are worth only face value, while uncirculated specimens with strong luster and minimal marks may carry a modest collector premium. The 1996 P Washington Quarter represents the final years of the classic Washington design era that ran from 1932 through 1998, making it an important part of modern American coinage history. Its inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust, United States of America, e pluribus unum," and "quarter dollar," reflect key themes of American identity: national unity, freedom, faith, and federal government authority. The next top. The 1997 P United States quarter dollar is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series that was issued before the 50 State Quarters program began in 1999. The P Mint mark means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. On the front, obverse, of the coin is a portrait of George Washington facing left, designed by John Flanagan. Above Washington's head appears the word Liberty, while the national motto "In God We Trust" is located to the left of the portrait, and the date 1997 is at the bottom. The small P Mint mark is found to the right of Washington's hair ribbon. On the reverse back of the coin is a large heraldic eagle with outstretched wings holding arrows, symbolizing strength and defense, along with an olive branch representing peace. Around the eagle are the inscriptions "United States of America, e pluribus unum," and "quarter dollar." The Latin phrase "e pluribus unum" means, "out of many, one," reflecting the union of the states into one nation. The coin has a clad composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a copper core, weighs 5.67 grams, and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Approximately 595.7 million 1997 P quarters were produced, making it a very common circulation coin. Most circulated examples are worth only their face value of 25 cents. Although uncirculated specimens with strong luster and few marks can be worth more to collectors. The 1997 P quarter represents the final years of the classic Washington Quarter design that had been used since 1932 and remains an important piece of modern American coinage history. The next top.